Whimsy North, and in this video I'm going to show you how to do 2 different decreases in brioche knitting. So I've already in this swatch here knit some straight brioche, and I do have a video on how to create this section of the fabric. And then I've also done some increases to help create interest and direction and a pattern within my 2-color brioche knitting. So I also have a video that shows these increases on my channel, so you can check that out. But this particular video is going to show you how to do a right slanting decrease, a brioche right slanting decrease is what it's called, and then a left slanting decrease. So all of this is also written up on my website, whimsynorth.com. So if you want the written instructions to follow along, you can find that there. Okay, so we're gonna get started. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to, I always knit my increases and decreases on the main side of my fabric. This is my main side here, this lavender color, and you can see because the stitches are the lavender color. Excuse me, and the coral is the background color, and that is my contrast side. So you can see this is my contrast and this is my main side here. And that's one thing I love about brioche knitting is it's 2-sided and you get this really neat fabric. Okay, so I'm going to first show you how to do a right leaning decrease on this side and then a left leaning decrease on this side here. And I'm going to show it to you first continental, and then I will show it to you English style as well. Okay, so to get started, I'm going to knit and then slip 1 yarn over, and this is how I do it while I'm knitting continental. And you can see that in my other videos as well. So I'm going to brioche knit, slip 1 yarn over, brioche knit, slip 1 yarn over, and then this is the section where I'm going to do a right leaning decrease. Actually, you know what, I'm gonna do it right here because I think that would look really pretty. I'm actually making this up as I go along. Okay, so in order to do a decrease, you're actually going to need a set of 3 stitches. So whenever you do a decrease of any of either right or left leaning, you're going to need a stitch with a yarn over shawl here, just a regular stitch, and then another stitch with a yarn over shawl. So you're going to use these 3 stitches to complete your decrease. Every time that you do an increase or a decrease in brioche knitting, you're always going to be working with 2 stitches. So you're either going to increase by 2 or you're going to decrease by multiples of 2. So to do a right leaning decrease, you are going to first slip this set of stitches onto your right hand needle. Then you will knit this middle stitch. You will pass these 2 stitches over that middle stitch. Bring this knit stitch onto your left hand needle and pass these 2 stitches over and then put it back on your needle. I know that sounds like a lot. The left one's a little bit less cumbersome, but there are a lot of steps. But as you can see, once I complete that, these 2 stitches have come together into one, and they are leaning towards the right. So I'm gonna actually show that to you one more time, but this time I'm gonna do it English style. Okay, so I'm going to slip 1, excuse me, sorry. I brought my yarn to the front already, so slip 1 yarn over, brioche knit, and then I'm gonna do the right leaning decrease on this next set of stitches. So I'm going to slip 1 yarn over, and here are the 3 stitches I'm going to use. This one with its yarn over shawl, this one in the middle, and another stitch with its yarn over shawl. Okay, so Again, for a right leaning decrease, this time English style with my yarn in my right hand, I'm going to slip these 2 stitches onto my right hand needle, knit that middle stitch. And while I did that, you saw that this yarn then put a yarn over shawl onto this slipped stitch, and that is why my yarn was in front. Okay, so I just knit that stitch, then I'm going to slip the first 2 stitches and pass them over that stitch I just knit, put that stitch onto my left hand needle, getting a little big, slip these 2 stitches, over that knit stitch, and then put it back on my needle. And then I'll just tighten that up a little bit. So now you can see, again, how these 2 stitches have come into one, and they're leaning to the right. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to do a left leaning decrease. So I'm going to slip 1 yarn over, brioche knit across, and let's see, where am I going to put that left leaning decrease? Okay, so let's do it. We'll do it right here. So here's my 3 stitches that I'm going to need for my decrease right here. And to do a left leaning decrease, excuse me, I pass these 2 stitches onto my right hand needle. Then I'm going to knit these stitches, so this stitch with its yarn over shawl and this stitch together as one. And then I take this set of stitches here, pass them back over that middle stitch, and there you go. And then I'm going to show that to you again. Okay, so let's slip 1 yarn over, brioche knit across. Okay, nope, I need to slip 1 yarn over. Okay, so here I'm going to use these 3 stitches to do the left leaning decrease. So I will slip these 2 onto my right hand needle, knit this stitch and this stitch with its yarn over shawl all together at once. Pass the 2 stitches that I slipped back over that center stitch. And there you go. So you can see that this one is a little bit, you can see these 2 stitches do come into one, and they are left hand leaning. They look a little bit looser, but once I knit back through with the other yarn colors, they will even themselves out. Okay, so I'm going to knit to the end. And then I'll show you how to work the next row. So that was my main side row, and I now need to finish this row with my contrasting color. So I will slide my needle across, grab my contrasting color here, and I'm going to slip 1 brioche purl, slip 1 yarn over, brioche purl. This is how I do it continental, all the way across. And with the decreases, unlike doing increases, you just continue with that same pattern. You don't have to do anything different. Just slip 1 yarn over, brioche purl all the way across in order to work this, oh, didn't grab that one, this main side contrasting color row. And just finish that off. Then I'll show you. Oop. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to knit a couple more rows so that you can really see these decreases pop on the right and the left hand side, and I will be back to show you what they look like. Okay, so I knit a few extra rows on my swatch in order to show you what the decreases really look like. So remember we did our right leaning decreases on the right side and our left leaning on the left side. So here you can see, here is one of our decreases where these stitches came together and it is leaning to the right. So this stitch here is decreasing into this one and it's right leaning. Here's another example of our right leaning where these two stitches were coming in together. They decreased down into one and they are leaning to the right. Over here we did our left hand, or our left side, left leaning, stitches. And we have these two coming together and they are leaning to the left. And then again, we have another one where they are coming like this and they are leaning to the left. So we have our right on the right-hand side and our left on the left-hand side. And there you have it. That's how to do a brioche right slanted decrease and a brioche left slanted decrease. Again, for free patterns and other tips on brioche knitting, make sure to check out my website, whimsynorth.com. Thank you.